Surprise! What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. We appreciate you joining us. We definitely appreciate you guys in the chat. I'm Ray Orsini, co-host of Wins and Losses, and joining me as always is Mr. Jason Slagle. How you doing, my friend?
Good. How about you?
I'm good. I finally broke the number pre-Channel Con. I'm happy, going the right direction, so it's all good.
I was doing good this week, and then today I'm up a little bit. I blame popcorn last night. I had popcorn as my evening snack and drank like I don't know a half gallon of water right before bed. You probably know.
Oh, so you're retaining. Like
oh yeah, yeah. I think I've peed like 35 times today. So yeah.
I hate when that happens with me with tea. I'll drink hot tea. I love peppermint tea, and then sure enough, for the next 24 hours, I'm just like, it's Niagara Falls.
It should be better tomorrow. It's it's been 270 all week, and then this morning it was surprise 272. It's like
it's not the worst. I've gone up like 3 and 4 pounds at times because of the leg. So yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. 3/4 of a large popcorn the other day. No regrets. I'm with you. So should we? I mean, you said it. I kind of gave away the surprise part for those that saw.
Yeah, we have to bring him up just so we can get the story of that picture.
Yeah, so we had a picture. We had a good picture, and then Simon's like, no, he gave us this, and I'm like, okay, that's one way to go. All right. And for those who don't know what we're talking about Mr. Ben Kenny of Hack Your Health. How you doing, my friend? Or We Hack Health, sorry.
I'm doing good. I will let you know that I've spent the last 2 hours catching up on the previous 2 episodes and trying not to spend money on the Ninja website. But no, I'm good, dudes. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, you started looking at the creamy. Yeah,
well, I would have bought one. I can't fucking get one anywhere.
That's the problem. I was stalking it for like months, or not months.
I want it more.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, Ben, why don't you introduce yourself, dude? We've talked about you 1,000 times, but good Lord.
I'm Ben. I'm the guy that I guess tells you guys what to do. I'm the puppet master, I guess we'll call it. It's funny because I've actually taken more notes. I don't know if you guys wanted me to have notes. I realize it's not my show, but I've actually taken more notes and more prep for this podcast than I do my own weekly podcast. So I don't know if you should be. I don't know if you should be excited or nervous, but I'm happy to be here. I also I did 1 week you had a drink and 1 week you didn't. So I prepped myself that I have a glass that has ice and I have drink. So I don't know if that's a usual thing.
I mean, no, I did grab a non-alcoholic IPA.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have a drink with you, man. I haven't had anything all week, so I'm good. So Jason, why don't you tell everybody how you met Ben while I'm going and getting my bourbon?
Yeah, so I met Ben, much like I think many people do. I don't know if you actually know this, Ben. 2 years ago, Dave gave a talk at GurCon. Right towards the beginning. I think it was right around the time that the podcast actually started, and he's an amazingly great speaker. He spent half the conference basically bragging about the fact that he beat his kid in horse, and he talked about his weight loss journey and all the other things. And I looked at it. I looked at you at the time, Ben, but I don't think you were taking clients then. And then at some point or another, you open up the Hacks group, and I'm like, I'll give this a shot, and it's been good.
And here we are, 10 months later, I guess, right? 10 months later.
It's getting on that. Yeah, I'm at week 41 or 42 this week.
Good Lord. Yeah. He just said he's drinking, and, I pulled out some bourbon. So, yes, Keith, you're not wrong. What are you drinking, Ben?
I have a fresh bottle here of Vivar tequila. I'm not really a bourbon drinker. I'm not against it. Yeah. But tequilas. Well, actually, what happened was I decided that I was going to start collecting tequila. So if people were coming to the house and bringing me something, they knew what to bring me. So I wasn't getting random shit. I was just getting bottles of tequila. So
nice.
I'm struggling actually trying to open it.
Are you a sipper? I mean, if you're
drinking. Yeah. I'm not going to be doing like shots. Like it's not going to be that kind of party. I'll have one drink.
Research, dude.
I have a couple bottles of Don Julio 1942 here. That's pretty good.
I mean, I had that was my second choice, but I felt like I would go with the Vivar. It's quite nice if I can.
I'm a
get
basic
into it.
B, dude. I got 1800. Like I got bottles and bottles of 1800.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
it.
Actually, I don't know if you can see it here. Over here is the 1800 coconut, which I would highly recommend if you're into coconut and margaritas. But not to turn this into a show about drinking, because I feel like that's not necessarily what I'm here
I have
for.
another show for drinking, so it's okay.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, Tech Bar. I mean, that's a whole other thing.
Bar was.
But you have your own podcast.
I do, yeah.
So you talked about prepping for this one, but what do you do on that one? For the people who don't know.
So Dave and I basically just come on and say, okay, right, what are we going to talk about today? Generally, I guess the best way to put it is we just sort of share our journeys. It is mainly health and fitness related, but we do talk a little about business and just sort of what's going on with us and essentially what's going on with the team and what's going on with my coaching business. And we are, as of today, 106 episodes deep, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, essentially it was born out of the idea of wanting to help more people in the tech space, in the infosec, in the cybersecurity space. And like I said, we're 106 episodes deep.
So I didn't find you through that. I found you because of Jason, and we had this conversation. But for those that hadn't heard this before, I go to conferences. Jason and I go to very similar conferences, and so I'm looking at his schedule, and he's always talking about, for the last year, talking about working out, and he's got to find the gym in the hotel, and like cutting back on the drinking somewhat.
I've been good. I've been really good.
You're good.
Is this where the real stories come out with the people here actually there with you?
No. Yeah, no, I didn't drink at all at ChannelCon.
Tell me more, Ray.
No. So I mean, we had some wild moments over the last year, but no, ChannelCon, he was completely dry. And so whatchamacallit, so we're doing all this, and I'm like, shit, dude, if Jason can do it, and he runs a company just like I do. I think our staff sizes are pretty close. Whatchamacallit, and like if he's able to do it with this travel schedule, fuck, I can do it too. So that's how, and I'm like, what are you doing? And so he told me, about the Discord, and it's completely virtual, and of course all the questions and blah blah, and he got me through it. And I'm like, wow, this makes a whole lot of sense, and it was perfect. So I didn't realize the number of cybersecurity people and other technology people in the Discord. And I keep noticing, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of people that know tech. That's cool. And I didn't realize like that was the whole thing. So
yeah, I think that's the main point though. It's seeing, initially for me, it started with Dave, obviously, and people went, well, if Dave can do it, I can do it. And then if this person can do it, and if this person can do it, Jason can do it, then this person can do it. It's sort of like normalizes it from person to person. And I think it being super niche in sort of tech, it's everybody has the same potential excuses, everybody has the same reasons not to do it, the same struggles, and it's a case of, okay, well, all these other people are doing it, so there's no reason that I can't do it, and sort of get over the excuses and get on with the work.
Yeah, and that's exactly why we started this. It was like, well, Jason's had awesome success over the, what'd you say, 41 weeks?
Awesome-ish, a little over £1 a week average.
Homie, you've done awesome. Like, come on, man.
It needs to happen faster, but it always does.
You're doing 5Ks and shit in the morning while I'm sleeping. So you're doing well. You're doing okay. You did your century not too long ago.
I'll say this about Jason. I would give him the credit for this fully. We've talked a lot about the conferences, and we've talked about the drinking culture around the conferences, and it is sort of jokingly for me, it was a narrative that I wanted to change about an unhealthy industry and unhealthy sort of practices around the conferences. And Jason has definitely made an effort at the conferences he go to do at least something that is physical or some sort of output or activity or a non-drinking related activity. So that to me is sort of beyond what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? It sort of expands the mission, expands the movement. So credit to Jason where it is due.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing, right? It's being able to look and say, how do we adjust our daily lives so this still works, right? And honestly, that was the big thing about seeing Jason do it. And Jason, you don't have to pay attention to any of this. We're talking about you, but that was the thing. Like, seeing him do it and still hang out with us and have a good time, and and everything more moderation. So I think I told you I was dreading ChannelCon because it was my first event after starting this journey, and I had a great fucking time and did okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to get the link for the Discord. I'll put it in the chat in a minute.
It's discord.gg/WeHackHealth.
That's easy.
It's, I mean, the thing is that, I've failed at some conferences. I've won at others, right? But generally the average amount I'm drinking, eating, and conversely, the amount of lazy at the conference has all moved in the right direction, right? Since I started this journey. So I'm drinking less at them. I am eating less at them, trying to be more mindful of protein, and I'm trying to be active. And, I'm not going to be perfect all the time, but trying to do better than I did yesterday.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what it's about. It's about knowing that you're not going to nail it every single time. It's knowing that there are going to be weeks that you fuck it up, and that's okay. Like, that's part of the process. And I think the biggest thing for me is, the biggest thing that I've seen is people think that they fall on and off the wagon. Whereas if you can just live life with 1 foot off the wagon at all times, then it's not a case of having to get back on it, because the failures are part of the process as well.
Yeah.
They
are, for sure.
Yeah, that's one of the. It's funny because, like, you have this whole like vault of videos and the mainframe, and you start. I started watching these videos, and it's really perception adjusting. A lot of them, right? Like the calories over the week versus, and the calorie banking versus, like, it's stuff that, like, when somebody says, "How do you spell the word the?" and you say it too many times, and just it doesn't make sense. The shouldn't be the word the. And it was one of those, yeah, no shit moments. Like, yeah, that makes sense. And it was great. So I strongly recommend anybody to do it. So not to get too serious, but we do have some segments we want to cover here. So I will let Ben pick. We have our segments here. They are nom noms, so basically talking food, which there's no end of food shots on your Discord. We have workouts of the week, where we basically just bitch about the stuff you've assigned us. We have mindset and struggles and challenges. So where would you like?
Going by the last 2 episodes and you admitting that you haven't got your workouts in, I want to start with workouts of the week and where you're at with that. Not to call you out straight away.
Fuck. I really should have thought better of that. Damn. Jason, how was your week, dude?
I'm doing okay. I am a day behind because I managed to destroy myself on a playground yesterday. But I'm staring at my brand new Rogue bumper plates that are right out there, and they are the workout's happening straight away right when this is done. I need that workout, tomorrow's workout, in 25 minutes of cardio, and I'm done for the week. So I am way ahead of schedule compared to where I normally at, because I've been missing my Friday workouts almost every Friday, and I actually did it last week, which makes this week so much easier.
Well, one of the notes that I did take was, if you need me to change your workout days, Jason, it's much easier for me to do that, so you don't miss them on specific days. I can just put them on the other days, and you can put the boxes on the correct days.
No, it's fine. It is actually okay. It is it's a personal problem. It's a procrastination problem more than anything else problem, right? So it's like, well, I'll get to that this weekend, but my weekends are just screwed. It's like with kids, and I don't have a free weekend where I don't have plans for, I think, the next 5 weekends. So the thought that I'm going to make anything up on the weekend is just not going to happen.
That's what happens to me. So I'm off on Fridays. I work a 4-day week, but I still go to the office every once in a while, just because, like, just do my personal stuff. It's my hobby shop. And so I get there and I'm like, there is no reason in the world I shouldn't be able to work out on Fridays. Like, I have it in my head. I have it blocked off on my calendar, and I'll be like, it's just this like avalanche of like, but I'm in like relax mode. So I just don't want to do the gym side either. So I actually, I told you last week then that I was going to suck it up, stop making excuses, and just get the shit done. So I did. I actually, but just like college, I'm waiting until the last fucking moment. So basically what I did is I ended up doing 2 workouts today, morning and evening, and I'm doing 2 tomorrow, just so by my check-in time, it's all done. So,
and they're done that. It's terrible. Do not recommend. 0 out of 10.
Definitely do not.
Oh no, Friday I'll be miserable for sure. So.
But you're still getting it in.
Yeah.
So I think that's a win and a struggle, and it's the workout of the week all covered in one.
Yes. Yeah. All right, now we can get to talking about the Ninja Cream. No, I'm kidding. So Jason had keyed me in, by the way. I love seeing it because Jason's my ghost of Christmas future. So, we were talking about like the Flappy Birds, and we talked about the cables.
Those are resistance band side raises or Flappy Birds.
Yeah, the Flappy Birds.
I have nicknames for all of the exercises.
Yeah. Which makes it that much better, honestly. So, but we've talked about like the machines versus the free weights versus the bands. And Jason clued me in. He's like, as soon as you get comfortable, he's gonna fuck you up again. Like he's gonna change something up. Yeah. So these workouts are really hard. I'm having the hardest time. But so Jason is 41 weeks in. I'm starting. I get it's unique for each one, but like from an overall level, right? What's your rhyme and reason to like how you assign the workouts, how you build up the workouts, that kind of stuff for your clients?
The biggest consideration for me is time, because it's the biggest roadblock for all of everybody. So I want the things that we do to be efficient and effective. I want you to be able to go in and get it done within a certain amount of time and know that you've put the work in. Generally, I find, especially at the start, and not 100% of the time, but definitely a lot of the time, starting with full body workouts allows us to put more work in a shorter amount of time. Generally, we can recover much quicker in between those. Again, generally at the start, I go for higher rep sets just to allow you to actually feel what the muscle feels like. If you're doing the Flappy Birds and you're doing 20 reps, you're going to feel your shoulders by the end of it, versus if you do like 68 reps, you're probably not going to feel it. So the initial sort of block is doing full body, making sure you can handle the capacity, making sure they're efficient and effective, and making sure you understand what muscles are actually working.
So you one of the things you asked for is like photos and videos of the workouts, and I imagine that's to look at form, look at how they're executing. What's the more common like mistakes people make when they're first getting started in the gym? Jason has something he wants to add.
No, I mean RDLs, man. It took me weeks and weeks and weeks to actually feel them in my hamstrings and not my back, right? It's like because my form is all jacked up.
Well, I think the two main things that I see people struggle with is, number one, not submitting videos for me to check, because it's the only way that I'm going to know. And I'll give you internal cues and external cues, so what you should be seeing and what you should be thinking. And the second one is how people take the videos. Sometimes I get like, people are doing like dumbbell chest press and I'm looking up their crotch and I'm like, this is not beneficial for me in any way, shape or form. But no, I think it's having that understanding of what this exercise is for. And that sort of comes from me going through the form check videos. It's not necessarily moving in any wrong direction. It's just understanding what it is you're actually trying to accomplish.
Like the thing I get anal about is like when I'm working, whether it's nutrition or working out or like meal prep, like whatever it is, I'm looking and like I get so bogged down in the details that like my OCD is like, okay, well, how do I need to make sure both are coming up at the same time, or, the counting is, part of it. And so like I start looking at like different things of, I don't know, I get bogged down in the details is basically what happens.
I mean, also fine. Do you know what I mean? I sweat the small stuff in pretty much everything that I do. So those details are important. I think another benefit of me requesting videos from clients on movements is them actually seeing them do it themselves, because what you think you're doing and the reality of what you're actually doing are sometimes completely different. And I think, Jason, you probably saw that quite a lot when we were in Pittsburgh with seeing other people do things and you're like, that's not what you think it is, and then just being able to make the slightest adjustment. So seeing yourself do it is important as well.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I agree with I think it was Josh said it. Working out in the morning is a lot easier for me because the house is empty or the house is quiet. Everybody's sleeping, so it's like 5 a.m. Yeah, let's go.
It's so with I mean the videos are good, right? Like the in-person was better. One, I realized that I think I am adhering to tempo a lot more than the rest of the group is. But the tempo is also huge because it allows you to actually sit down and focus on, this is how this is supposed to feel. And one of the things I asked Ben early on is like, hey, in my workouts, can you tell me where I'm supposed to feel this in each of the workouts so I can make sure I'm doing it right? And that was a huge help for me.
Oh, wow. I hadn't thought of that. That's cool.
And the tempo, while it's a pain in the ass, I think it's something you mentioned in one of the previous episodes about seeing other people, just being able to shift the weight. And yes, you can absolutely shift the weight at a rapid rate. But actually, again, knowing what muscle you're trying to move and feeling the contraction, and almost like thinking long term, like longevity of that movement, longevity of your muscles, of your joints. Like, can I do this for a long period of time, 10, 20 years, whatever it is? I would prefer to do it at a lighter weight and be more in control. And I often say, get strong in the muscle, not the movement. And that's actually being able to contract. Like if you're doing a chest press, do you actually feel your chest moving, or are you just moving the bar like this? Because that's what the video shows you to do. That's the reality of it. Like, am I just, even with a squat, whenever I used to coach, obviously in person, like I would get somebody to do a squat and I'm like, what are you actually thinking about there? And they're like, I just go down and go back up again. I'm like, yes, that is a squat essentially, but like what is happening? Like, what is your body doing? Like how your muscles contracting? And it's getting your head around that and sort of having that perspective is key.
So you do these meetups. You did one in Vegas just before we were there, I think. I know Jason went to the Pittsburgh one. He talked about it. I looked at the pictures. It basically looks like a frat house is what it looks like. I mean, so what's the point of these meetups and why are these crazy people getting together with you in this house?
The point is, number one, to sort of strengthen the bond of the community, probably more than anything else, because I'm big into the community. Number two, for me to be able to travel and do my job, which is obviously cool. But probably most importantly, to get hands-on and make some adjustments. Like I'm sure Jason will be able to tell you the benefits of actually being in person and even getting that one day in those sessions in, regardless of if it was me standing beside you coaching, just actually being there with someone else who is doing the same movement and you can see what they're struggling with and either be able to fix it or know how to fix yourself. I can definitely agree that it seems like a frat house. Essentially, I booked the biggest Airbnb that I can find. We all go and hang out for a couple of days. We do 2 days worth of training. We'll do some sort of Top Golf or other. It always seems to be some sort of golfing event. I'll always cook for everybody. It's just a cool thing to do in addition to sort of the online stuff, and it makes it sort of real world and actually seeing people in person and not just on a little box on the screen like this.
Yeah. I mean, I was with Tom and Glenn, right, as my group when we were working out, and Ben was floating around and he corrected a form on a couple of things, but even just with them, I fixed the form on a couple of the exercises. Like I was coming down too low on my dumbbell bench, for instance, and just correcting that, I was able to like rapidly increase the weight I was lifting because the form was correct. And it wasn't like I was turning my dumbbell press into something that was stressing my shoulders out, right? And my shoulders were the weak point and they would give out. My chest was still fine. My shoulders were giving out. So by limiting that range of movement, they called it out. I'm now able to lift more weight more times.
And a cool thing for me,
you got an invitation to do a meetup in Lake Arrowhead.
So. I will literally go anywhere, wherever you want. I'm in. But even the cool thing for me, like seeing it sort of event to event, like the first one we did was April last year in Cleveland. The cool thing for me seeing them is Thomas's first event was in Colorado in May, and then we did the Pittsburgh one, which was in July. And the difference between him in May and him in July is night and day. And just the confidence that he has to show you things, or confidence that he has in his own movements. And it's sort of like almost me not teaching people how to coach, but allowing them to see what I see so that they can help people, which will in turn help themselves. I'm creating an army of tech coaches. Everybody's going to be like online coaches in the tech space.
That's true.
And
Jason,
everyone's super nice
in here in your background.
I do.
Is that from the We Hack Health merch store?
It is. I bought it. I have a shirt too.
Nice.
So I bought a couple things. I'm gonna get that lifting club shirt because I actually really like the logo.
I've been harassed for that lifting shirt. I was harassed physically in Vegas for shirts. I had people come up to me like in my face, be like 2XL, and I'm like, "Do you want the one off my back or what?" I didn't even have them. But I added the lifting club shirts and flags this morning.
Yeah. I mean, because what's the point of working out if you can't look good, right? I mean, come on,
True.
Got to dress the part.
You gotta support your tribe.
That without question, 100%. So, all right, so we're getting kind of late, so I think we should do one more, and it's super late for you. What time is it where you're at?
It's just gone 1 a.m.
Lord,
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I tried to get you while you were in the U.S.
Yeah. No, I did offer to pre-record it, and he was like, "Nah, I can hang out. It's all good.
I can do it. I mean, I'll not do it for everybody, but I'll do it this time."
Oh, I appreciate that. All right, so we got nom noms, mindset, struggles, and challenges.
Let's talk about struggles.
All right.
Because I want to actually utilize you two in this, believe it or not, in my notes that I took in the past couple of hours. Struggles that I faced this week is in terms of business. Obviously, one of the episodes you were talking about hiring your team and actually being able to let go of some of the things you do and not sort of manage everything yourself. That's a situation that I'm in at the minute. I am the bottleneck in my business right now, and I don't know how to overcome that. Essentially,
it's hard.
That's my struggle.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that in Tech Degenerates. We were talking about Tara Rummer was talking about how she's been able to focus on Immubot, and she's kind of left her MSP up in the air, not paying attention to it. And she was very proud because the team was running things the way they should be running things without her. And I always take it as a point of pride when I can disappear and not worry about stuff.
Yep.
It's a lot of work to get there. It's a lot of work.
Find the least valuable use. Well, so if you heard of an Eisenhower matrix, I think is what it's called, right? Do that, right? Write down all of the things you're doing as part of the business, whether you like them, good at them, they're okay, not good at them, don't like them, or good at them, and then don't like them, not good at them. Get rid of all of them, and the don't like them, not good at them part of it, right? That's where you start, and then you move on from there. And the coaching, I don't know what that looks like. To me, honestly, it's probably looking to outsource or hire somebody to add some automation to you around, because I can't even imagine what your life looks like as far as all of these Google spreadsheets that you're dealing with.
I don't know how you have this many technical people working out with you and in the group, and you have Google Sheets. That was the first thing I did. I started modifying cells.
Listen, I have had people, and I have a couple of people who are building it into an app, but they are obviously doing it as on the side of their job, and it's way above anything that I know how to put together. So it will come with them.
No, and it's cool because when you have your tribe like that, you have tons of people that want to volunteer their time because it makes everybody. Because
it will save them time, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, Jason, what about you, man? What was your struggles this week?
Getting hit by a playground equipment yesterday, derailing my workout.
That picture?
Yeah, feel free. I was afraid I actually hurt myself, but I woke up this morning, and while I do feel like I got hit by a truck, I got hit by a 90-pound child is what I got hit by. I was afraid I actually hurt myself. So that's probably my only struggle so far this week. Nutrition's been fair, right? Average, I'd say. I'm ahead right now on workouts. Work has been a little less insane. Just pretty average week, I'd say. Not huge amounts of struggle. How about you?
I whatchamacallit, I've been, because I've had the high stress stuff going on, and here's your playground that took you out. Oops, disappeared on me. Here's your playground that took you out. Since I've had a high stress, let's be honest, last couple weeks, whatchamacallit, I've just been functioning on very low sleep and very high stress. And so even with the meds, the ADHD has been on fire and hard to focus. It's just when you look at and you have everything in front of you and you're you don't know where to start kind of thing. So I know how, after 44 years, I've built tools for myself for that, where I know how to step away, and then just pick something and go and start, just do one thing at a time. But I find myself having to stop and then reset many times a day to dial it in more. I was joking with my wife because over the last week, not one, not two, not three times, but 4 different times. I've weighed myself, walked to the bathroom 4 feet away, and forgotten the number on the scale and had to go back and do it again. So like that's rough, man. I mean, I'm not whining, but yeah, it's been a struggle.
Surely, I mean, in the tech space again, is there not some sort of way that when you weigh yourself on the scale, your phone has it that you don't need to worry about?
Oh yeah.
They don't
scale
do
does
those
that
for guys my size yet. So after a little bit, I think the biggest one that does that is 450. So I'm getting there. A year from now, maybe I'll be closer. Yeah,
I'm waiting for the Y things and the new one to come out that does all the super fancy stuff.
Do you have that Y things scale that like the food scale that does,
No, this has been a thing where suddenly it's like all these new things I want, right? I literally just spent $1,000 on weights and stuff that I never thought I would ever buy in my life, and now I'm like, can I get a power rack? It's it happens. It happens.
Yeah, man. I mean, well, you saw me with the Whoop and the Aura ring, and I mean, that's I do that stuff because it's kind of adds excitement for me because I enjoy the toys. So it's like just one little more thing to motivate me. And for what it's worth, this is the one. Like the Whoop has really made me super happy. So it's nice.
I think that's an important note as well, because everybody always asks me what the best one is, and we've had this conversation, but it's a preference thing more than anything else. Do you know what I mean? People like certain things, certain features. People like to wear watches. People like to wear a strap. People like to wear a ring. Like there's endless amounts of ones, and it's working out what works best for you.
Yeah. It's hard because not everybody has the disposable income to get, buy things and try it out. So it's, I completely get wanting to do all the research and all that. But, and it's funny because Josh and I were going back and forth on like the Whoop versus the Aura ring versus what's the other one, the Ultra Human.
That's
I got the Ultra Human, so I put it on last week.
How do you like it?
I'm hard pressed to say that I prefer it over Aura because I've had Aura for so long, but I think I prefer it over Aura.
I heard the app wasn't that great, is what I was like. It doesn't have a subscription, right? Like that's
no.
I heard the app wasn't nearly as good or as polished as Aura, but that was like 2 months ago, so maybe it's better.
Well, I think it's still very much, they're still developing as it goes. Like they're very open to feedback and changing things, which is good in a sense. So I think like we're very early on in it. But it is slightly more comfortable on my finger, but I don't know whether I'll probably wear it for a couple of months and then I'll judge between it and Aura ring.
Does it have that little notch that like the Aura has, where like it's not completely round on the inside, it's like flat on one side?
Yeah, but it seems to be a lot more comfortable. Like I never really felt the Aura ring on my finger, but I feel this less, if that makes sense. Like as soon as I put it on, I was like, it feels entirely different. But
yeah, my wedding ring, I never like I don't remember it at all. Like it's on, I forget I have it.
Yeah.
The Whoop, I will say I like it a little better only because, well, one, the Aura was too small for me because I have freaking bear paws. But two, with the Whoop, I never have to take it off at all, right? Like I can move it around, I can wash my arm, but I have the little charging battery. I don't have to worry about it. And to sleep, it's comfortable for me. It's fine. And then I get fun little nuggets like this where it says my high stress moment was while I was sleeping. So still trying to figure that one out.
Are you fighting things in your sleep?
Apparently I'm fighting bears in my sleep. I don't know what the hell is going on.
I don't know if that's a positive about the rest of your day or a negative about your sleep.
I mean, yay, high strain. I don't know what the hell was going on. I'll take it. It's one of those things. It's funny though, because like it's that reminder you wake up and you feel like shit and you have that sense of how you slept. And then you look at the Whoop and Whoop's like, yeah, you slept like shit last night. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks.
Yes, I feel it. Thank you.
Yeah. So have we convinced you to get a Ninja Creamy? Because that's really the whole point of this whole show. We're going to get a sponsorship.
If I can find one that's available online, yes, absolutely. I'm in. I just can't find one that's online. I'm now on all the email lists, so I'll probably get tortured for all their stuff until I have it in stock.
Oh yeah, they do the text messages and the stuff. And I waited for the deluxe, and I can tell you, I don't know why it does 12 things instead of 7 things.
Because it's better. Because 12 is better than 7.
It's 11. It's 11 for the record. But
okay, so it only does 4 extra things. And it's funny because like I'm in a Facebook group. I rarely go on Facebook, but I'm in a Facebook group for Ninja Creamy users, and it's like
Of course you are.
Yeah, of course.
And people say that We Hack Health is a cult, and you're in a Ninja Creamy Facebook group.
Oh yeah, I'm totally all in. Like, but I mean, you can make. I know how you feel about like the protein shakes, and you prefer raw food, whole food.
Well, I want to talk about the day you had 3 protein shakes.
Oh shit, you saw that?
I've done my homework. I've done my homework.
Shit.
I had
Why do we
2
record
today.
these? No, I mean, so like, but I've told you my struggle with like the calories, right? Like, so like even the lowering the calories, like because of the gastric sleeve I had years ago, like once I start eating properly, it's really easy to be at like 600 calories a day, and I just forget to eat. So they'll get to, yes, Sarah, I'm sorry. So fucking Jason's having the best time of his life. So so it gets there, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll go to bed. One, I used to drink chocolate milk before going to bed, so that was kind of like the thing, which I love. The protein shakes fills that need for me. And yeah, I pounded it to both hit my protein goal and get closer, because you yelled at me for not hitting my calories. So you don't yell at me, but close enough.
He's not mad, he's disappointed, and that's
Yes,
even worse.
and that's worse. That's so much worse. Like you know what I mean? Like, if at least if you yelled, I'd be like, all right, fuck it, yeah, you're right, okay, whatever. But he's like, listen, I know you're doing this, but you really need to try to get whole food.
Yeah.
It's,
no, he's overly positive in the check-in notes, but with this like I'm silently judging you undertone, which is absolutely exactly what I need and amazing.
So we're hearing you do yell.
I have been known to. And do you know what? Like, you can imagine I coach a lot of different personality types.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes some require a different version of me as a coach, and sometimes I do really say it as
it's not you, it's the person.
It's I wouldn't say it's a deserve, it's a requirement almost, because I'm not here to babysit everybody. Sometimes you just need to be told to shut the fuck up and get on with it, and I will do that when the time comes.
I actually told, so you made that exact comment last week on the chat when we had our call, and I go to my wife and I say that all the fucking time. Like, I've given talks on stage about have your pity party and then move the fuck on, like get over it. And I'm a big fan of that. And so I tell my wife, I'm like, I had my call with Ben today, and he told me to move the fuck on and get over it. And I'm like, I say that shit. Nobody says that to me. I say that. But I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's what you needed at the time.
So what's the lamest excuse you've ever heard? Because I have to imagine you get lame excuses every once in a while, for like more than once in a while, for people not doing their workouts or missing.
The one that fucks me off no end. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse in this, but anyway.
Yeah, you can fucking curse.
The one that fucks me off no end is when people say, I really need to have, I get this maybe once a week, I really need to have a plan for how to get my steps in when it's raining. I'm like, it's called a fucking coat. Put a fucking coat on and go outside. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. Like, it is not hard. Like, just go outside. You are waterproof. Just get the fuck outside.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck cares? Not like you're not going to take a shower. Who cares, dude? Just fucking go.
The steps are probably the part I have missed the most, so I don't have a lot of room to talk there, but I will walk in the rain.
Yeah, no, I'm and I'm at my place with my step goals. I can't even like average them out over the week, because he's like, you have to hit the goals every day. It's not optional. So I'm like, fuck. And there's been more than a few. There's no excuse.
There's literally my goal's only 7,000, and like I look at it and I'm like, I had 3,900 on Sunday. I was pretty active on Sunday. I swam 1,100 meters and I biked 10 miles, but I only walked 3,900 steps, and it's I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, that's like the one thing. If the Whoop did fucking steps, I'd be like through the moon. Yeah. I get why it doesn't. They have their whole little like thing written out, but I wish they did. Honestly, I wish they did. Drives me nuts. The dog ate my workout. Yeah, I mean, all right. So Jason's not here. What's the worst excuse Jason's ever given you? Since you fucking busted my balls about the protein shake.
I've only missed one checkout the whole time, so check-in. So I think I'm doing pretty good there.
One check-in in 41 weeks. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that, Ben, for me. Yeah.
We don't need to, because
Yeah, I know. I mean, at least I own my shit. I'm not like making excuses for stuff. I know when I fuck up, and I own it. But I'm telling you, like after ChannelCon, I was it was tough, man. It was tough to like get back in the rhythm. I'm still struggling to hit my water, and I love water, and I'm still struggling to hit it. Yeah, it was just one of those things. I don't know.
That one night at ChannelCon, I'm pretty sure that you drank 4 liters of tequila.
You're not supposed to say that, but Ben said my tequila counts for water too, because it's clear.
The thing about water, right? Because I know, Jason, you mentioned this in the last one, and that was going to be what you were going to do differently this week. So did you do it differently this week?
I am doing a lot better with water this week.
Okay. The water thing for me, while I understand that it's a pain in the ass, like I actually was conscious with the call on Monday, like I drank a full 1.5 liters. So you're talking about plastic bottles. Like I have one of these sitting here at all times. I also have this sat here. So in terms of drinking water, like I find it easy because it's always here. But the thing about it is why you feel better. If you think about how much at the basic level, how much of your body is made up of water. If you have, and I'm sure there's some sort of tech computer analogy we can create here, but if you think about how much of your body is made up of water, if it's missing some of that, all the functions that you're trying to do are going to be a little bit more difficult. Whereas if you have all that, you'll have more energy, your blood will flow better, your temperature will be more regulated, your digestive system will be better, everything functions a lot better. So that's why you feel better. And then that's why you want to do everything else that you're supposed to do as well. So for me, in terms of like biggest bang for buck thing that you can do to start feeling better is actually just be hydrated. It's as simple as it sounds.
You say it in your video on the vault. You've said it in calls with me, where like you say, like once you're completely hydrated, once you have enough water, you feel the difference, and that's true.
I have a related but different problem that I'm pretty sure that part of my issue is that my mind confuses the I'm hungry and I'm thirsty signals. So I really just need to drink, but I eat instead, and that's not good.
I do I'm bored. I've realized I've learned to identify it, but I realize that when I'm bored, I will sit and reach for something to, occupy. I'll bite something, I'll eat something. So now I've just kind of shifted that to just take a swig of water, and you know what I mean? It's not perfect, but it works better.
There definitely is a difference, and we talked a little bit about this, and I think it was the last podcast we had a guest on, Allison, and the difference between being psychologically hungry and physically hungry, and actually understanding what those feel like differently. And that is an important thing to be aware of in yourself, because the slightest thing you could be like, oh, I'm hungry, where it's a case of I actually just don't want to fucking do this piece of work. So I'm now hungry, so I'm going to disappear into the kitchen for a while. And that's like a psychological thing versus actually being hungry.
Yeah, that's it's and that's again the perception adjustment, right? Like that's the thing I've had to like really learn. And it's stupid because people tell you when you move more, you feel better. When you work out, you eat better. You're not as sluggish. And yeah, okay, but also a Big Mac tastes really fucking good. But I love to cook, and for me, like that's like for the first couple of weeks of this, like I was all about the food. I still am. I mean, I had freaking gnocchi and pork loin tonight. I was showing Jason, but like I still enjoy it. It's just I make these meals now. They're like 400 or 500 calories, and I'm like, shit. And they're just as filling as the 1,400 calorie McDonald's or whatever I was eating before, just significantly better.
So. Well, there's 2 points in that. Number one, and I made a note on this as well, like the fact that you actually enjoy cooking and can cook puts you miles ahead of everybody else, because people, for whatever reason, don't know how to cook, which blows my mind. And I guess I have an unfair advantage. I grew up, my mom always worked in restaurants. I've always been around food. Mm-hmm. But what you're saying there in terms of the calorie difference, like that's where the food volume comes in. So like I could put 2,500 calories out in front of you of a day's meals, and it's like 5 meals essentially, and it's a lot of like total amount of food. Right. Or we could go to Five Guys and eat 2,500 calories in about 4 minutes, and it would be delicious, but we'll be done straight away. So it's understanding what's high calorie, low volume versus what's high volume, low calorie.
Oh, and I do that too. What was that, Jason?
I said, but those Cajun fries.
Yeah, I mean, Five Guys is good, and you'll know, like I'm all for having those things. Like I'm never going to tell you not to have those things, but it's just if you're going to eat like an asshole at the weekend, don't like an asshole during the week.
That's actually one of the videos, the calorie banking videos. Like if you're going to eat like an asshole, bank your calories first and then eat like an asshole, but don't eat like an asshole all week.
And if we tell you that, you will actually schedule different calorie goals on the weekend during the week, right?
Yeah. Pizza night. And and it's funny because like even pizza night, I ended up adjusting, and a meat melt at Pizza Hut is don't start on me with Pizza Hut pizza. It's just my kids like it. But the pizza melt from Pizza Hut is 1,100 calories, so I have half. That's 550. And I have the other half for lunch the next day, and I schedule it out, and it's fine. And I normally leave myself like 1,100 calories, 1,200 calories for dinner, because I like snacks. I like late night snacks. I like getting a yogurt with some cacao nibs or whatever. So I leave that for myself toward the end of the day. And then I end up with 3 protein shakes, and then I get yelled at on YouTube. So,
well, I mean, it's really hard to hit your protein goal eating pizza. Like,
it's impossible.
There's no protein in that at all.
Yeah.
Other pizza shops are available as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, we have good pizza. So I've made. Hold on, let me see if I find the picture of it. I showed this yesterday. So I made this, which is not exactly pizza. But it's salami, because I was out of turkey pepperoni, some mozzarella cheese, some Rouse. It was less than a quarter cup of Rouse tomato sauce. And then these are 25 calorie little tortillas. Threw it in the air fryer, and they got the pizza urge out of me, right? Like that. It's sauce, meat, cheese, bread. It's pizza-ish.
Circular food is top tier food as well. I think we can all agree on that.
Tacos.
100%. Weekends are for more adventurous breakfast cooking for the family.
We need to get Taco Tim on here.
What happened?
Yes. Taco Tim. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, so
one of the guys in the Hacks program it just eats tacos pretty much for 3 meals a day. Yeah, and I support it. I'm fully in support of it.
But like, he's making it's different variations of tacos, right? It's not just like meat, cheese, bread. Like, okay, I just said that's pizza, but still, it counts. Priorities on snacks. 3 protein shake snacks. See, no, not the same day. Not the same day. I want to be clear on that. Like, but the little Yas balls are like 25 calories each, a little chocolate and whatever, or 35 calories. So like, I play those games with my food, and I honestly, it makes it fun. It occupies my mind. So, and now I'm starting gardening. So,
I mean, my big thing is that I'm only at 160 grams of protein. So at some point or another, I know that's going to go up. But even at 160, getting more, not getting at least 50 or 60 out of that from either protein powder or shakes is really hard. It's basically, I have to eat like an entire chicken every day, because all of the other sources of lean, chicken and turkey, because beef and all the other ones, typically the readily available versions of them are fattier, so you end up going over in your fat.
Yeah, they don't have lean ground meat at Costco, I've noticed.
Yeah, they don't. I think you can get 85-15. You might be able to get 90-10, but you definitely can't get like the 97-3.
That does not exist at Costco. But you get salmon. I made sashimi last week from the Costco salmon. That was actually really good. So
the kids have been digging really simple. Like, I take ground turkey from Costco, spaghetti sauce, and then some sort of protein noodle, either the Brelli spaghetti or like the Routini or penne, and we'll bake it or cook it. And the kids, they asked, we ate it on Sunday, and they asked me to make it again today. I didn't have time. So that's been really helpful.
So what is the most adventurous thing you've made food-wise, Jason?
For this?
Yeah, for whatever.
Nothing. I mean, we make a stir fry. I mean, it's not super adventurous. I am eyeballing. I have not pulled the trigger. Last week, I moved the bowl for the ice cream maker to the freezer. It's still sitting in there because I'm so afraid I'm gonna mess the ice cream up that I haven't actually pulled the trigger on making the ice cream yet. Because
I mean, the
recipes all have stuff in it. Like, they all have like either pudding powder or some sort of other thing that I haven't gone and gotten yet.
I mean, there's a whole machine that does this stuff. You know that, right?
Yeah, mine's a KitchenAid mixer.
Not affiliated whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can make protein ice cream. I will tell you, you have to mix the protein ice cream. It looks like snow if you don't. You have to add a little bit of liquid when you take it out of the freezer. I'll tell you that from experience. But I fucking love it. All right. What about you? What about you, Ben? You get people from your tribe posting the pictures all the fucking time. You make stuff all the time. What's the most awesome thing? Your favorite go-to?
For me, I think that the reason that the food channel exists is because I'm quite simple with food. I have like maybe 8 to 10 go-to meals that I know that I can just throw together. I'll hit my protein goal and I'll stay within my calories. So if I have 30, 40, 50 people that have 8 to 10 meals, I now have up to 500 different meals. So for me, I try to keep things simple that I can just go and throw it in. I mean, I know it's not adventurous, but I'm a big fan of trying different ways of actually cooking steak. There are a lot of cool stuff there are a lot of cool things that happen within the food channel. There's a lot of air fryer chat. One of the first questions that you get asked if you enter the BC fam is what type of air fryer you have. And honestly, I promise it's not a cult.
Yeah, that's like the overnight oats. That was the very first question they asked me when I joined. What is your favorite overnight oats and why?
Yeah. Cooked or uncooked is the question. Yep. I guess the uncooked oats is the best thing that I make because that is something I genuinely have eaten probably every single day for the past almost 10 years.
Yeah, I need to try
in some
that.
way, shape, or form.
It's just so many of my calories because it's that's like close to 600, 500.
Well,
right?
You can vary the amount of it. Like you can vary it. The ones I'm having at the minute because Dave is now in control of my calories. Is about 750 calories for the one that I have at the minute, but I can have it at like 350 or 400.
Yeah, I'm really waiting to get to those episodes because it's going to be amazing. I think this dichotomy between you two with how competitive, especially he is, it's gonna be something.
Well, only Dave can offer to coach me and then turn it into a competition.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Let me see here. So these are the ones I've been making. So half a cup of overnight oats, or half a cup of oats, protein powder, 1 scoop, half a tablespoon of chia seeds, and a shake of Premier Protein. And 417, dude. And I'm telling you, fucking delicious.
Yeah, but that Orgain plant-based protein powder, is that the stuff with the green lid from Costco?
No, this is some shit my wife bought. I don't use that one anymore. I use
that one is disgusting. I have it. No bueno.
No, this is my favorite hack. This is the so Premier Protein makes I know Ben's like the fucking protein shake. But Premier Protein makes one with cafe latte one that has caffeine.
Yep.
Ooh, in the
I'm out of them right now and I'm sad.
That is fucking amazing for breakfast, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, last week I turned Ray on to the ISO Dynamize, the Fruity Pebbles in the mocha flavor.
Oh, so I made the Fruity Pebbles ice cream with the Ninja Creamy. And then
did you actually put Fruity Pebbles in it as well? Like,
no, I didn't have Fruity Pebbles in the house. Yeah,
epic fail. Try next week.
It is. Okay, wait, hold on. My trainer's telling me to buy Fruity Pebble cereal for the house. Really?
Yep. Again, like one consistent thing that I've had every training day for the past 9.5, 10 years is some sort of cereal as a post-workout because I really enjoy cereal, and that for me is the best time to have it.
I get that. Yeah, it's not sponsored by a protein shake company, but I will say this again. If I'm not eating breakfast, this is my morning. 2 scoops of this with like 36 ounces of water and ice, and it tastes exactly like iced cappuccino. Fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing. So yeah. And then this is
aside from having protein shakes, do you actually eat any real food? Like, what's the story there?
No, I do eat real foods. I made food today. I had a gnocchi and pork loin and beef.
Show that picture.
You had a gnocchi and pork loin flavored protein shake.
And so I have protein shakes every day. I do. But whatchamacallit, usually it's just like, and I do the thing you told me. I do water first. I do make sure I do a liter water before anything else. Trying to find where I put my food.
Yeah, you
hydrate before you caffeinate. I think that should be my next line of merchandise.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm bad about that.
Where did I put my food?
It was in the I think it was in the MSPB Geek Planning channel.
Oh, that's why I couldn't find it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me find that. Let me see.
It was.
Anyway, so Ben, while I'm looking for that, I know it's super late for you, dude, so I appreciate you staying late. Where are you going to be next? Where's the next meetup?
The next meetup is actually in Belfast.
Sweet.
And believe it or not, it's probably been the most difficult to coordinate. So yeah, there's about, I'm going to say there's about 20 people coming in. The cool thing about this one will be it's not just Americans, no offense, but the obviously the US based ones have been majority US based clients, but I'll have people coming in from America, Abu Dhabi, Germany, France.
Wow, nice.
Everywhere. So it's in 2 weeks' time. And then the one after that will be in the next US based one will be in Phoenix in March, which I have already started planning. It'll be awesome. And then I think towards the end,
one.
You will?
I'm almost positive, yeah. If it's the dates that you guys are floating, which is like basically first week of March, then I should be able to make it work.
Yeah. And then there are talks of end of next year doing one in Japan, which will be endless amounts of shit shows to navigate, but it'll be good.
Oh, that sounds cool.
If you come out to like MSP Geek conferences, will you try to plan something around that, or will you just?
Yeah, for sure. So we'll do a similar thing that we did around the Pittsburgh event. We can plan it something differently. So my goal with it is to do 2 standalone events. So like the Phoenix will be a standalone event that we're there for that. But if there are conferences and other bits and pieces to sort of tag on to, we can definitely do that.
Cool.
So this is whole food. I ate whole food. It wasn't just protein shake.
It's drizzled with protein shake, though. Don't let them fool you.
Yeah, of course. I took the fudge protein
sauce
shake.
Is protein shake reduction.
I bet I could make a really cool. Okay, let me not go down that path. All right, dude. I know we're about half an hour past, but it's been awesome having you on, and I want to take advantage. And we've been talking about you for literally 7 weeks, so figured having you on is pretty awesome. And then
I'm glad I could be the first guest.
Yeah, man, you are the first guest. And actually, our next week we have Frank. Shit, I forgot who's coming on next week. Who is it?
Frank.
Oh yeah, Frank DeLuca. Frank DeLuca's coming on next week.
Nice.
So he wasn't in the chat. That's why I didn't see it. That's why it was lost for me. Talking about his.
He was in the chat earlier, I thought.
Well, it's the new time. Yeah. All right, so Jason, what do you got coming up, dude? What's going on with you?
Light-ish travel schedule until mid-September when it gets crazy. I have Bourbon and Beyond. That will be a weekend that I will probably. That's on my dashboard sheet. That's a weekend that's probably going to be lost because I'm going to a music festival with bourbon in the name. So,
I mean, wait. Are you prepping this so that you can you're prepping your check-in in advance and be like, look, I'm not gonna hit my goals.
I'm going to tell him to mark me as maintenance on that week.
But that's why we have the overview sheet, because we can work our asses off to that, and we can take a week off to chill and go and drink bourbon and do whatever you need to do. But that's part of the process, so we have it.
Yeah, no, that works.
And then GerCon after that, which will be less crazy. And then Wild West Hacking Fest, which is a logistical nightmare. Apparently getting to and from Deadwood is hard.
Because he put it in the middle of nowhere. Well, because John's in the middle of nowhere. That's the problem.
I know.
Anybody else is like, let's take the conference to Orlando or to Phoenix. And John's like, no, come to me.
Come to my house. But they have a steak dinner, then I think they might actually murder the cow in front of you to make the steak. So I don't know. It sounds delicious.
Oh man, that's awesome. Let me see what we have coming up, because it's always a surprise for me. We have no, we just did that. Oh, they didn't update it.
That's in the past.
Yeah, that's in the past. So we got nothing coming up. No, I think I have a partner first tomorrow.
AI roundup tomorrow.
Secure, Defend, Recover, and then I have
2 workouts to get in.
I got 2 workouts to get in tomorrow. I got to buy more protein shakes because I'm running out. And we'll be back at this next Tuesday at 7:30. Ben, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for help. And I should mention this. It wasn't just me. My daughter and I started at the same time. And that's about all we're doing together, because I do not like working out with people, and I need isolation. So we're doing our own journeys, but supporting each other from a distance. And it's working well. So, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, thank you so much for joining us. As always, take care of yourselves and each other.